Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, June 5th.
Sorry, man. Stop resisting. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. All right.
A drunk driver is accused of attacking a deputy during his arrest. Flagler County deputies say Frank Clement Jr. crashed into a fire hydrant at the racetrack gas station on State Road 100 Thursday afternoon. The impact of the crash caused the hydrant to rupture, sending large amounts of water into the nearby swale. When police arrived at the scene, they say Clement Jr. advanced at deputies in a threatening manner and battered a deputy by forcefully grabbing him while officers attempted to cuff him. Police say he may have been reaching for the deputy's firearm. Clement Jr. was treated at Advent Health Palm Coast and then transported to the Flagler County Jail. He's been charged with DUI causing property damage and personal injury, aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest with violence, and reckless driving. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. Law enforcement in Flagler and St. Johns counties worked together to nab a suspected car thief.
The caper began when a Palm Coast resident called Flagler County Sheriff's Office Communications to report their car stolen after spotting the thief on their home security camera footage lifting keys off a hook in the garage while the car owners were away at work. More details from Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
Working with the Real-Time Crime Center in Flagler County and the Real-Time Crime Center in St. Johns County, within an hour of the reported theft, St. Johns County spotted the vehicle, arresting the car thief. This is a reminder to always keep your garage doors down and your keys in a secure location inside your home, especially if your garage door is left open.
The 19-year-old suspect is from Palm Coast. He's being held at the St. Johns County Jail on charges including trespassing, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of cocaine. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Even going back to Matthew and Irma, 16 and 17, and Dorian was 19, and we had the two storms last year. Those were all tropical storm level impacts in our community.
It's been several years since Flagler County has experienced a hurricane, and Emergency Management Director Jonathan Lord is encouraging residents not to let their guard down.
So a lot of people say, well, I made it through this storm. They just said it was a Category 5, and I hate telling people this, but it wasn't for us. For us, it was tropical storm impacts. So in the magnitude of damage that's caused for Category 1, 2, 3, above those tropical storm impacts, unfortunately, is exponentially higher. What we saw in Lee County, what we saw in the Panhandle with Michael, it can 100% happen here.
Hurricane season started last week with forecasters predicting an average season, but Lord says it only takes one storm to cause significant damage. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
What is happening with property taxes in Flagler County?
Flagler County property appraiser Jay Gardner said on a recent episode of Real Estate Matters here on WNZF that there are two different kinds of property values. There's taxable value.
And that's the number that, say, the county gets to multiply by.
Then Gardner said there's just value, or the fair market value of a property.
The just value, there's obviously a big difference between, this year we're just over $24 billion in just value. That doesn't equate to the same number. It's like $14 billion in taxable value.
Gardner said that the just value is the money by which the county can multiply to get the property tax rate. He said that in theory, the millage rates could be a little lower. Listen to Real Estate Matters on Saturday mornings at 11 on WNZF or anytime on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, Jay Gardner talks about which direction the property values are going now. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Governor Ron DeSantis signs 12 bills into law and vetoed 2 others Friday. Liz Ryan highlights one of the bills.
Maybe you've seen kratom on store shelves. Maybe you've taken kratom. But what is kratom? It's an herbal extract that comes from the leaves of a tree in the coffee family grown in Southeast Asia. It's often found in stores that sell natural remedies and CBD oil. Users swear by it for mood enhancement, increased energy, and pain reduction. But it can have side effects like nausea, liver damage, drowsiness, depression, It's even been linked to seizures. It acts on the opiate receptors, so it is an opiate, according to the FDA and the DEA. Is it legal? Well, that varies by state, and sometimes even by county. Here in Florida, Governor DeSantis just signed the Kratom Consumer Protection Act, which prohibits sale, delivery, bartering, furnishing, or giving any kratom product to a person under 21 years of age. That takes effect July 1st. I'm Liz Ryan.
Time to get out your camera and enter the Palm Coast Annual Photo Contest. Shannon Martin, Communications and Marketing Supervisor for the City of Palm Coast, lists the categories.
Participants may submit up to 20 photos for each of the following categories: pets, recreation, wildlife, landscapes, events, and residents. All photos must be taken inside the city limits of Palm Coast.
It's free to enter. Entries must be submitted no later than midnight, July 31st. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.